Hello, welcome. I'm Michelle Swan Young. I'm talking today about one of the myths of self-care, and that is that self-care benefits just ourselves. The reality is that we are interconnected with pretty much the rest of the world. So when we are able to care well for ourselves and we're able to nurture our needs and help ourselves to live a vital, energetic, full life, that this impacts all of the people that we come in contact with and our community, and eventually, by extension, the world. I know that in most of the major religions or spiritual traditions, there's this idea that's taught that's love your neighbor as yourself. And it's really important that we understand that that means that we also need to love ourselves. It would be pretty bad practice to teach people to love other people poorly if you are also loving yourself poorly. And so when we do take that as a way of life, of loving our neighbor as ourselves, then we also need to take care of ourselves, because we can't take good care of our neighbors without taking good care of ourselves. It's this cycle. Self-care really is this idea of attending to our needs, to being kind to ourselves, to really paying attention to what we ourselves need and want, and what makes us live our best lives, our most full of life lives, and as we are learning to extend this loving kindness, this unconditional positive regard, as we learn to extend that to ourselves, as we learn to bring kindness to ourselves, we also will begin to give that same kindness to the people around us. It's the process, right? Like, oftentimes we have this negative self-talk, and as much as we might think that we are still serving others or giving other people a big benefit of the doubt, the way that we are internally is not usually massively fragmented. And so if we're really self-critical, we're probably also critical of others. And maybe that's in ways that we don't always see. Or if we're not very kind to ourselves, probably in our innermost being, we're also not always kind to other people. So as we learn to love ourselves, then we're also able to learn to love our neighbors better. And it is this cycle, because when other people also are able to care for us, then that helps to meet our needs and to nurture us, and then we're able also to keep giving that care out. So it's this cycle, and of course, I was talking just then about other people caring for us, but we're caring for ourselves as well. So there's this cycle of giving where through ourselves and others, our needs are met or well tended to, and then we are able to well tend to other people's needs as well. So when we do come from a place of energy and vitality because we have practiced good self-care and we have received care from other people, then when we are in an interaction or a problem solving or maybe working towards a community goal or something like that, like, we're not going to show up with desperately sort of grasping to get our needs met, because we already will be full. And then when we're not desperately grasping to meet our own needs, then we have this energy, this sort of overabundance or outflow of love and care for other people. And with that, I also want to just note that, that how we show up in these different places, how we parent our children, how we engage with our friends, how we participate in the community, that the energy that we bring to that is significantly and fundamentally different when we have cared well for ourselves, and when we are able to show up with this sense of vitality versus a sense of exhaustion and overwhelm and sort of desperation. Like, we don't have the fullness to give when we have very large unmet needs. And of course, like we're talking about sort of overarching ideals here. So it's not that you can't give when you also have needs. That's absolutely not, you can. But the quality or the fullness of the gift that you can give is so much larger when you have practiced good self-care. So self-care is about the community, and it's really about the world. It's about caring well for ourselves so that we can participate in things that are empowering and helpful for other people. So I invite you to consider how you in your own life, how you're caring for yourself or you're not caring for yourself, maybe in different times, might impact the people around you. And then maybe as you see how that works, you could let that be a little more motivation to truly give yourself permission to take good care of yourself, and find ways to meet the needs that you do have, so that you can also show up in a full and vibrant way in your home, in your community, as you care for others. I'd love to hear your reflections and comments below. And if you would like to hear more about some of the myths of self-care, I have another video, 11 self-care myths and facts. That is linked at the end screen here. And I hope that you have a really wonderful day. Take good care.